It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. We got Stefan Adon and the super producer Joel Holt in the building. Yeah. A little quieter. It's a little bit quieter
Very
on
quiet.
that one. What's going on, man? Listen, we got some interesting news to get to. Some breaking news from the Chicago Bears podcast today. A very handsome devil that hosts that podcast as well. I mean, he really gets after it. And of course, we got to talk about some of this. No, you do not host.
Sorry.
You stay back there.
Sorry,
Play the
bud.
credits on yourself. No, man, we got to talk about the report that Jason Mckie put out on the Chicago Bears podcast that the Bears and Josh Jacobs have mutual interest. What is that going to end up looking like moving forward? Nobody can talk yet, but the fact that both sides have mutual interest, something interesting there to talk about. Also, have to look at the Saquon Barkley situation. Couple of reports linking the Bears to possibly being in on Saquon. Yes, Joel, this is a full show. Joel is a full 2 topics on running backs. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I know, Joel.
Yeah.
Me and
Joe having a good day. This is a good day.
Yeah, y'all love your running backs, don't you?
Hey, man.
You guys just
No, I love
$30 million for running backs left and right.
We like
I just love
talented.
talent.
Oh,
running
okay.
backs.
Is that what it is? You didn't. Your team didn't like him.
Hey,
I like
the Giants didn't like him enough to give him a franchise tag. Hey, Jay Greer or
Josh Jacobs.
Hey, man, over 100 in the chat. 2 minutes in. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Love that like, but subscribe to the page. Got to get into. Also, the Bills just cut the team. Like, like, is anybody left to play there? It's just Josh Allen, Von Miller, and we think Stephon Diggs may end up playing there this season. Like, so we got to look at some of the free agents from there that possibly the Bears could look at. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Boys, Josh Jacobs, interesting name. The Bears and Josh Jacobs apparently showing mutual interest per Jason Mckie. And I love how J-Mac broke it down. He said, the source is my agent, who is also Josh Jacobs' agent. And so that's a real source. This is not one of those sources that like you just look at that people just throw stuff on Twitter just to get some clicks or some likes. That is a real source from Jason Mckie. The interesting part about Jacobs, he's entering basically free agency for the first time here. And after 5 seasons with the Vegas Raiders and is coming off of what I would say is probably it's a down season for sure, but probably his worst season of his career, only 805 rushing yards in that season, had 6 rushing touchdowns, lowest of his career and all that while playing in 13 games. But we know what was going on there, right? Yeah. Josh McDaniels action. We know how bad that was. No surprise there that his numbers were down. Everybody's numbers were down. When you hear that the Bears and Josh Jacobs have mutual interest in free agency, A, is that somebody that you think the Bears should go after? And B, what do you think Josh Jacobs could bring to this offense?
I definitely think that is somebody that should go after. When you look at the things that were talked about in Shane Waldron's introductory press conference, he talked about he wanted the offense to be as explosive as possible. You already got DJ Moore, whoever they're possibly going to add on the other side of him in the draft or whatever. Maybe you re-sign Darnell Mooney. They want those explosive plays down the field, but also being able to take those dinks and dunks. I think that he's definitely one of the top 2 options outside of there, because you also have Saquon in that mix. Other teams are also vying for him. But it's just like me and Joe was talking about. You want to have the ability to go out there and you need a 3-down back that is also able, that now allows the team to be able to go out there and put up 30 consistently on a weekly basis.
Yeah. The biggest, I think it's not about, I know teasing me about the running back situation where your issue is overpaying for running back. My problem is, again, we've seen time and time again when, depending on who the running back is in the backfield, not even just this year, it's been every year for the last, since maybe Matt Forte.
Yeah.
Whoever's back there, and he's going to do this, or we can't trick anybody. So if you get an every down back that can catch the ball. And like I said, based on, I said this even last year, the way that even if we're mimicking the Packers scheme, if we're mimicking the 49ers scheme, you do need some type of weapon in the backfield that can catch the ball, that can extend plays to a degree. And Saquon to me is that guy. But then again, when you're looking at, Josh Jacobs, I mean, if you're able to capitalize on what he did last year, the year before, 1,600 rushing yards, 400 receiving, you know what I'm saying, with 12 touchdowns, like that's 2,000 yard scrimmage. We haven't had that since Forte.
I think what's the most interesting about Jacobs is, right, like I was talking to J-Mac on the way here. He called me about this whole situation. He was like, man, this thing really blowing up. I said, yeah, dog, you reporting on Bears news. Like that's gonna send all of us over the edge. Like somebody saw Jacobs and was like, oh my God, like a table was flipped. Like, you know what I mean?
Shout out to SWAT because he's saying like Jordan Howard who was good. No doubt about Jordan Howard. The issue was that but you're complimenting him with who was the little guy, the little running back,
Tariq
Cohen. So again, you're alternating versus like, well, we know Tariq can't. He's not running through the middle.
Yeah.
He tried to.
And he did.
No, he did. He destroyed his body in his career.
That's not how he got hurt.
Yeah, he got hurt going. Didn't he hurt his knee?
No, he ended up messing up his.
Tariq Cohen.
It was his Achilles.
His Achilles was when he was trying to come back. He tore up something, but it wasn't
either way.
Yeah,
he didn't last long at 5'6", 100 and whatever pounds.
He back too. Yeah, he back in the NFL. I hope he get himself back together. Shout out the Panthers though. It's not good. But no, I think the one thing that I would say about, listen, if you go out and get Josh Jacobs, that I think would find interesting is Josh Jacobs worse off than Justin Fields as far as getting screwed over between two coaches? Like he's definitely not been used the right way. You went from John Gruden, to Josh McDaniels.
Well, John Gruden got fired unexpectedly.
But John Gruden was not good there. He also was not good there. Like,
well, maybe was it premature that he was? I mean, that was a whole issue with politics and racial nonsense, and he lost his whole job.
Yeah, but he also wasn't good there.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe he wasn't, or he wasn't done.
Maybe
around the team. He took over that squad. I don't think it was a great team person. I mean, we had Derek Carr. Like, was it that bad? It doesn't matter. The whole point is that the coaching staff was changed. So
it changed twice though in his time. That's what I'm saying. Like, as far as guys getting screwed over, like you got to think Josh Jacobs is on the list of guys getting screwed over.
It's a victim of circumstance.
You're like, I came into the league and I got Gruden and then McDaniels.
And the wild part about it is like you coming to work with Gruden, like he stripped the whole team.
Yeah.
So it was basically like, hey, does he really want me here? Does he not? Like that's a mind game week to week, really.
Yeah, it was an interesting scenario. And I think the one thing I will say is, like, we're going to talk about both of these running backs. I know how I feel about running backs. You're overpaying for both of these guys. I'm sorry. 11 to 12 million is probably the value that I think you're looking at for Jacobs right now. About $10.5 million is what Spotrac has him listed at on his next contract right now. I would assume you're probably talking about a 3-year deal here. Maybe give him the 11 mil bump, 33 million over 3 makes sense to me. But there's when you start paying that much money for running back,
he's like, bro, I think we should get some talent in the backfield. Somehow. I'm just,
No, because here's the thing. It's still an overpay, but I think it's an overpay for the circumstances that you're in right now, right? If you're going to reset your quarterback right now, if you want your quarterback to feel as comfortable as possible, and that's why a name like Josh Jacobs interests me. That's why when we talk about Saquon Barkley, a name like Saquon does interest me, because they're safety blankets, and you want as many safety blankets out there for a rookie quarterback that you can get. And so Do I like the fact that we're spending possibly $11 million on Josh Jacobs? No, I think that that's an overpay for the running back position because I think there are guys that you can go out there and draft or find or scout or whatever you want to do. I mean, heck,
so
they
you
just
think
cut
that 2,000-yard scrimmage is just laying around?
Hey, Joe, he doesn't understand.
No, because you're saying that
it's not the fact that 2,000 yards from scrimmage is laying around. It's the fact that a running back is used that much where he can go out there and get you 2,000 yards from scrimmage, with Saquon and Josh Jacobs were both used to that level. And what kind of wear and tear does that put on their body in those 5 years? We've seen what Saquon is. That's why to me, like, if you can get one of the two, go get Josh Jacobs because he's got less wear and tear on his body and less injuries on his body. Like, I love the idea that, like, you get this running back that can do everything. That can be Walter Payton, can be Matt Forte, can be Derrick Henry. But I think at the end of the day, the thing is, we just saw Isaiah Pacheco win a Super Bowl.
No, you're missing.
He's not that guy. We just saw, the rookie and Jahmyr Gibbs who was drafted way too high also. But Jahmyr Gibbs get right. Like, but he's a big part of that.
But the point is that they're on a balanced type of team. The issue is that these guys are the bell cow. So all you're doing is feeding the ball, and they're just wearing out. My point is that it's not that we want you to come in here and it's all about Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley. He's a great option. And we're multifaceted. If we got DJ Moore, we got a tight end. If they improve the offensive line and the quarterback is actually competent, it's just another weapon. I mean, to me, it's like a little bit of San Francisco with McCaffrey, but McCaffrey was definitely more of a focal point, right? But you still got Debo. You still got Kittle. And the thing is that you're waiting for the ascension of Brock Purdy, who's been doing pretty good. So it's just having –
well, and that's why I said it, right? Like the Brock Purdy to me is the perfect situation. Right, where you sit there and you go, all right, we need Brock to kind of develop. We need him to figure things out. We need him to not screw stuff up. He looks like he's a pretty good player, but he's still, a young player in the league. Christian McCaffrey.
I want to shout out.
I want
to shout out B-Dog real quick because he was saying Diana Rossini had mentioned this morning Austin Eckler and the Bears have a mutual interest as well as per Diana's report.
Too, but he's so broken up. He's so broken
up.
You
talking about getting ran into the ground.
I like Eckler, but he's too old. He's 31. But that skill set is what I like.
Yeah.
He can catch the ball and receive and all that type of stuff.
And the thing with that is I feel like this doesn't get brought up enough. Like, if Josh Jacobs or Saquon comes here, they got capable backups.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even need them to, like, even if you say, like, okay, like, because let's say for the sake of conversation, like, say Saquon is like on the field. Well, yeah, Saquon's on the field for like 77% of the snaps. All right, we need to cut that down a little bit. Okay, now you insert Khalil Herbert. Now you insert Deontay Foreman.
No,
so now
he's doing Roshan.
Deontay Foreman ain't gonna be. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No, Roshan.
If you go get Josh Jacobs or Saquon, those are the only two backs on your roster.
I was just throwing that out there because he was on the roster. But yeah, no, you need to cut that down a little bit. So it's like he can still be that 3-down guy, but he'll have the less wear and tear. So that way he'll be more efficient down the stretch come playoff time. And then especially because, now you're adding in the Thursday night games and so on and so forth. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a plus either way, I feel like.
Well, you're the whole point is compiling and getting more talent. So you get exceptional talent in the backfield. And then with Roshan, who can actually block, he can run and he can block. The issue with my issue with Roshan is more about home run hitter, but if the line is improved, the man could get 5 to 6 yards of carry if they kind of commit to the run. So there is some form of alternating, ability with these running backs. So that's what this the whole point is, just not to be multifaceted. I just don't want us to be one-sided. It's easy to shut this down. We don't have anybody else that we can like offset, whether it's DJ Moore, whether we're finally using, because it sounds like even in this offense, they might use all the complements of the offense. They might use 2 tight ends, right? They might go out and get a second guy. Then they let go of, is it Disley? Disley's gone too, right?
Yeah, Will Disley.
They cut everybody.
Seattle's like doing a fire.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Seattle, yeah. Jamal Adams, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think the interesting part about
pause 200 in the chat.
over 200 in the chat. Shout out to that.
200,
So hit that like button
yeah.
subscribe to the praise. Subscribe to the page.
To the praise?
To the praise.
You want to praise?
Subscribe to the praise.
Praise him.
Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The wild part is that's Michael Jackson. That has nothing to do with praise.
We got to praise just to make it today.
Right. Like, has nothing to do.
Nothing to do with nothing.
Nothing to do with nothing.
Nothing to do with nothing.
Hey man, shout out to everybody in the Breeze chats, man. We got Shout Out Boy in here. We got Cam C.
Hey, Cam, what's good?
Lord
Sude says Stephon killed me when he start the sentence with no. Knowledge Untamed in this mug. Hayes in this mug. Chicago Bulls Central. Y'all make sure to get in tune with
What's
him.
good, Hayes?
Lord Crimson up in here, man.
SWAT.
We got Jameer Gibbs in here. He says, right, I'm drafted too high. We'll be on a rookie deal the next 5 years. LOL. Okay, you are. Yeah, you're drafted way too high. Yeah, no way. Bearlissimo in the building. Shout out Bearlissimo.
Nova
man.
312, Levante.
We're going to be talking about one of the players that Bearlissimo has been screaming in the comments. For
He sure has. He sure.
We
see you, bro.
We'll be talking about that today as well. But no, I think here's the thing. Bottom line for me, depending on what you do at the quarterback position, and I think we kind of all understand or at least see where this team is probably heading, unless Ryan Poles is going to pull off the biggest pump fake in NFL history. I'm talking about Javon Carter levels of pump fake, bro. Like if he pulls this pump fake off,
don't piss me.
bro. I'm just saying, bro. Bro, just straight pump fake, bro. Like, no shoot, just straight pump fake, bro. Hey,
bro.
I ain't, that's all gas, no brakes. No, Javon Carter is no shot, all pump fake.
Bro,
it would have to be that level of pump fake. Bro. Yeah, he sucks. But but I mean, honestly, bro, his first name is Leroy.
Leroy.
That explains a lot.
Leroy Carter says so much to me,
bro.
Leroy Carter says so much. I said he sounded like he definitely got an all one body jumpsuit, like a mechanic suit, with just a cigarette that hang out his lip. Be like, boy, that's a carburetor right there. You got to get that carburetor right there. You get that carburetor right.
Shout out to Corey Mack. Said Peoria, Illinois is in the house. Just checking in.
Peoria, Illinois.
What's happening? Peoria in the house. What's happening?
But no, I think if you do go the direction of rookie quarterback, whoever that rookie quarterback is, I would be 100% in on getting a proven weapon behind you. I think the Roshan can become that, but getting a proven weapon on as far as one of the running back positions, I would be okay with that because, again, it's just another safety blanket to make your young quarterback's transition easier. And then hopefully, right, when Caleb Williams or whoever it may be becomes the franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears, we can cut one of these expensive backs and just keep running it out with the cheap guys from there on. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know you are. I know you are. Bro, it feels up to Pat, I swear. I feel like he would hold like open tryouts. Just strictly for the running back position.
Let me ask you this.
I know. By the way,
I
have 500K.
How many top 5 running backs in the NFL win the Super Bowl?
He is not allowed to cheer for either Josh Jacobs or
Saquon's
touchdown.
No, for sure.
He is banned
for sure
because when this joker, let's get a close up on him. No, you're not allowed.
Hey, it doesn't matter to cheer.
No, Joe, could you know what it is? You know, if the Bears do get Saquon and then he started doing all that unbelievable stuff, this is just like he was the last time the Bears played the Giants. Man, I ain't even gonna lie, Saquon is pretty good. I ain't even gonna lie.
I've never said he was a bad player. You've never heard me say Saquon was bad. You've never heard me say Saquon wasn't talented. You've heard me say that Saquon Barkley is expensive. You got dang right. Let the credits roll, baby. Let the credits roll. You've heard me say that he's expensive, and there are more important positions on the. You know when I'm fine with us paying the running back position when our offensive line is set.
I mean, dude.
When we got you know when I was okay with the Steelers drafting a running back when they had everything else, and it was like, well, we kind of need a running back. We might as well take the best one in the draft.
I understand being fiscally responsible for you're trying to build a team, but you can't necessarily. Every position in football matters because everybody has to do their job. The whole point is if you're depending on like a running back to also block and he doesn't do his job, the fullback, everybody's in there. If you get another weapon that can catch the ball, I don't think you can undersell or how do you undervalue the fact that, one, a lot of times these running backs are one-dimensional. So you got a guy that actually can block and he can catch.
Yeah.
And he has ability to do some things like that. I think there is value in someone like that. Not every running back is. Now, I think to your point, in this generation of running backs, there are more guys coming out that have more of that skill set. There are a few more Jahmyr Gibbs. But again, you still got he was still a first-round drafted running back. Jahmyr Gibbs was. Like that skill set is not necessarily that easy to just attain. So unfortunately, we might have to go ahead and buy that type of player.
But I mean, even
how much is an extra 200 yards worth? That's all I'll ask. I
think that, but in the game of inches, every inch matters, right?
Hey, yo.
I'm just saying. They say the football's a game of inches.
All I'm saying is these are your guys that the list of guys that broke 1,000 yards this season: McCaffrey, Henry, Williams, Cook, Swift, Connor, Harris, Mixon, David Montgomery, ETN, and Tony Pollard.
And what about us?
Bro, but half of those, but
it's because of how we ran the football. We had guys that could run the ball. When I give you 11 snaps though, and I give you
crazy,
6 snaps, and I give you 4 snaps,
they trying to pause me on the inch stuff, man.
That was crazy. No, that was crazy.
Football is a game of inches.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I allowed it because of the sport we're talking about, but it was crazy. By the way, over 300 in the chat.
300. Nah, but you want to know something about that list though? That list is lying. Cause I'm
lying.
The list is lying. I'm gonna tell you why. Some of those mugs on that list, it's like Joe was just saying, like some of those guys on that list are not 3-down backs and they don't block.
That doesn't matter. They ran for over 1,000 yards.
So just because they get
they ran for over 1,000 yards.
Bro,
that's the running back number, right? Which ain't that much, by the way. What is that, like 72 yards a game, basically?
Yeah,
I think it's like 72 when you break it down over 72.
I don't want an average. I don't want any average.
There's
players.
one running back that was above. That was great.
Yeah,
it was CMC.
Yeah,
1,500 yards.
Yeah.
The next best is Derrick Henry at 1,200, and this was a down season for him.
Yeah,
which was an amazing season for him. The Titans just sucked.
I gotta adjust something, Hayes. That's why it does what it does. Sorry.
What up? Oh, because
I gotta redesign something on the camera.
Well, you found out. Come on out there, Felicia. She's under the. Never mind.
Levante said, "You too old to be using terminology like that anymore. This is not the 1940s. Football is a game of yards."
yeah. No,
I still say colors.
Joe still say colors. And that color boy pretty fast, ain't it?
Whites only. No, man. Man.
Joe definitely saw Josh Jacobs running. Was like, that color boy really moved, doesn't he? Hey, look at him get after it. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Let us know in the comments below if you would go after Josh Jacobs. Not a bad name. Interesting that he is being attached to the Bears. Mutual interest is being reported by Jason Mckee on the Chicago Bears podcast. Make sure y'all check out the Chicago Bears podcast as well. Kind of crazy. I got all these podcasts out here. We're over 300 in the chat right now. Let's get over 300 likes on the video right now as we go to a word from our sponsors.
Wait, did we do 300?
We did 300.
Yeah,
we can do it again. It's 300.
Did we?
Yeah, we did 300.
All right.
Yeah, but over 300 in the chat.
300.
Yeah, you can't never go too long. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors at Oris. We got to talk about, yes, another running back, ladies and gentlemen, Saquon Barkley.
Yes. Look at
Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Hi. I wish y'all could see what's going on behind the scenes of these commercials, dog. Welcome back to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Pat the designer, Stefan the Don, super producer Joel Holt in the building. Boys, we've talked about Josh Jacobs today. We're keeping the running back conversation going as we have to get into talking about Saquon Barkley.
Well, actually, it was the top. All the tag, a
lot
of the free agents that didn't get tagged.
All the guys that didn't get tagged. We're going to talk about a couple of guys here, but I think Saquon is the lead here. But yeah, we want to talk about Xavier McKinney as well, and also Christian Wilkins, a couple of guys, the untagged free agents that hit the market. And do the Bears have interest? Should the Bears have interest in some of these guys here? As you see, listen, I can't spend too much more time on running backs here, boys. But you know, the Saquon Barkley reports are out there. And that is fine. I think that it is it's an interesting name. I mean, it's being reported by Tyler Dragon, which first off, great name from USA Today, basically linking the Chargers, the Bears, the Eagles, the Raiders, Ravens, and Texans, all rumored to have interest in Saquon Barkley. We know what kind of dynamic back Saquon Barkley can be. We know what kind of how he can impact the game. And like I said before, if I'm willing to go out there and pay money for a running back, now Saquon's coming probably with more of a market between $12 to $15 million a year. That is steep for a running back, especially with some other names out on the market. But would you be in on Saquon to the Bears, pairing him up with a young Caleb Williams and DJ Moore?
Yeah. What is it? F&A Cotton. Yeah. I mean, I just want talent. That's all. So get me, it's fun. Cam C said last time the Bears went to the Super Bowl, we had 2 running backs drafted in the top 10. And I mean, when you think even long time ago, we had one of the top rushing games back in the 80s. It's like you want the compliment. You don't want to just necessarily be one-sided. So
yeah, we were one-sided in those.
No, I mean, in 85, you had Willie Gault, you had Peyton. And even in 2005,
we were completely one-sided.
2006,
we couldn't throw the football.
We
had Devin Hester.
We had Hester. We had Berrien. We had Musi Muhammad.
Devin Hester wasn't even a running back yet, or wasn't even a wide receiver.
No, but he was a returner. But no, you're right. Misspoke.
But
I didn't misspeak. You put him up. I'm saying, but Hester was.
No, I'm saying that was your offense.
But we had 3 different sides, and they still screwed up because we had the return game, we had a running game,
yeah,
and we still had a shaky passing game.
But you did not have
a quarterback. What was 01? 01, we had a good offensive line.
Yeah.
No, that was Jim Miller.
And it was 01 Jim Miller, yes.
And who was the running back then, 01? But like you had to have a good line. You had to have somewhat of a complement of a balance. And I'm hoping that we can do that here with this team.
Yeah, when I look at it, like I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of, again, if I'm the Bears, I want the offense to be explosive as possible. And listen, the Bears had one of the top rushing games last year. You pair it up with a Khalil Herbert and a Roschon Johnson, like it's gonna take the pressure off of Saquon to do as much as he was doing in New York. In New York, and that's the thing. And the other part is that I need to like Joe,
zoom in.
Zoom in. Hey, bro. I realized Saquon's talking about like, oh, well, I want to stay in New York. I want to retire. We're not winning. we're not winning. You know what's about to happen, bro. You finna get the remains of Daniel Jones, whatever's left on the offensive line with Andrew Thomas, and it's just finna be you back there.
Right.
Like, go somewhere where you're gonna play actual postseason football and the games matter. I think that
he got the postseason football quicker in New York than he did in Chicago.
I would say this.
Listen,
the whole point is this. It's not so much whether it's Saquon or Josh Jacobs. You want to complement the running game. You want to be able to run the ball because you want to be able to eat up the clock. You want to save the defense. If you're always passing the ball, the clock stops. You don't want the clock stopping in key moments.
The Bears were willing to run the ball last year. The problem with the Bears was how they ran the ball. You give 10 carries to Khalil Herbert. You give 10 carries to Deontay Foreman. You give 6 carries to Roschon Johnson. Then you go, well, at the end of the game, we had 26 carries to end the game. But really, you had 10 mid carries from one guy, you had 10 mid carries from another, and you had 6 underwhelming carries from the third guy. But that's not a way. Like, you want to know when the Bears run game looked good this year? When they just decided to give the football to one guy. Khalil Herbert looked good when you gave him the ball 20 times. Deontay Foreman looked good when you gave him the ball 20 times. When you give one guy the ball on a consistent basis, like Saquon Barkley wouldn't look good if he only got 10 carries, 6 carries. The running back by committee was the Bears' problem, not the playmakers you have. So to me, the biggest reason to get one of these guys, a Saquon Barkley, is because in Shane Waldron's offense, he ain't running it. So at least Saquon go out and catch passes. That's the biggest thing.
My point is, it's not so much about even with last year. We're just talking about fundamentally. What you want to be able to do is control the ball, control the clock. And if you're always passing or you're always behind, in the sense you're not able to, convert on those third downs, you're not able to do those things. It's nice when you get a running back or a trio or pair of running backs where it's 5 yards a carry, and you want to be over 4 yards a carry. You're getting 3. It's hard to advance the ball. So the whole point is that if we're able to get these type of guys, it will save the defense. What killed the 05-06 defense, they kept turning the ball over. We lost Tommy Harris. The man ripped his hamstring off the bone.
There it is. It's Joe's show now.
We got
Tommy Harris mentioned.
Wrap it up.
We lost Mike Brown. I love that team.
Wrap it up.
Hey, I'm just saying, but the whole point is that we were not able to save that defense. Even 2018. I mean, when you lose, who's the defensive tackle that was the engine?
Eddie Goldman.
No, not
Hakeem Hicks.
Hicks.
Yeah.
Hicks, like, after a while, you're putting this defense out there, and it's nice to have the defense that's like the primary focus, but you don't want to keep them out there to a point where now you're risking injury because they're fatigued, they're tired. So it's like, let's get a good balance of offense and defense.
I would agree with you on that, Joe, if the Bears didn't yet again lead the NFL in rushing. And this year it's not because of Justin Fields. It's not. How many rushing yards did Justin Fields have?
What do you have, like 400?
Yes. So that means that you had
600 from your running backs. That's terrible.
No, that means you had 2,000 yards from your running backs alone.
I'm just saying, like, we're not
we led the NFL in rushing.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying fundamentally, You're
players talking about running the football,
just in general,
running the clock out, all of those things, right?
The ability to trick a defense and say it doesn't. We don't know if they're going to run the ball because XYZ is back there, or are they going to pass it? That's what I want.
Here's the thing. I would agree with you as well if we also didn't lead the league in rushing yards per game.
Well, we also needed to lead the league in some passing too. We still got to work on that.
I'm fine with that, but like my point is that the argument that we're having for going out and paying really expensive running backs is we need dynamic runners. How do you get more dynamic than leading the NFL?
Well, I think the issue is more about a complement. It's a balance. Last year, it doesn't matter. We couldn't pass the ball, so you got one dimensional, right? So you're able to stop the run, and then depending on who was back there. Deontay Foreman looked great to me as a running back. He looked like he was gaining yards. He looked like a solid running back. Then you got Roschon. When he's back there, well, you're primarily passing, and he was getting whatever yards he can get. And then Herbert was just up and down. By the way,
Justin has 657 rushing yards.
Was it 600 yards?
657 rushing yards.
Right. So we had how many yards rushing last year?
We had
1,000?
As a team?
Yeah, as a team.
As a team, they had 2,399 rushing yards.
As a team?
As a team.
Okay.
They led the NFL in rushing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I get it. I
That's
understand what
fine.
you're saying, but it's tough for me to say that when we go, well, that's just because of Justin Fields. When in most of the games, Justin Fields wasn't sitting there running for 100 yards
I know he
this
wasn't.
season. He was trying to throw the football.
But also remember, bad coaching. There's at least 3 games of bad coaching.
But that's my point.
Right.
How we ran the football made it not impactful. How we utilized our running backs made it not impactful. I don't think the running backs aren't impactful. Like you just said, Deontay Foreman can run.
No, I'm trying to stack the squad. I'm not saying that Dante was. I like Dante Foreman.
So,
I think but I don't know if Roshan is really. I don't know if he's like the bell cow kind of guy every down back. It's just how we utilize these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, some of that's based on Getsy. I'm just saying, look, I'm being greedy. I want more talent. I want exceptional talent in all positions that I can get.
So you playing Madden?
Yes.
He's playing. He's trying to trade Jalen Johnson.
I'm playing Madden.
Hey,
He's still trying to trade Jalen Johnson
hey,
right now.
hey,
He's like, develop this
James.
young guy. But when he found out that we can get 2 first-round picks if Jalen Johnson
Nobody's
signs
doing
somewhere
that.
else,
Nobody's
Joe, I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, that's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh.
No.
Hey, Joel, I got the other camera set up.
No, you don't.
I got the other camera
No,
with the Bears
no.
on the back.
Hey,
No.
oh man, yo, that's crazy. I
We
mean,
got-
the thing is, both you guys are right. I just think that, at the end of the day, it comes down to coaching, because if they play as balanced as they tried to play last year, but but now you factor in like, okay, the game's like 17-13 and we got like 5 minutes. Now we can run. Now we can try to do
said,
that.
Joel, a cold piece.
Thanks, D-Burst.
Oh man. But yeah, man. I mean, I think if they balance it out a little bit more, like Joel is saying, when it gets to those like last 5 minutes in the game, if the game is close with the defense, then you can run the clock out for the last 5 minutes and be dominant in that fashion. And I also think that's what Joel's trying to say. The other point to that is, like, even if you do bring them in, like, that's just gonna amplify the things that the defense is able to do, and not only that, that's able to amplify the things that Caleb can do, because after that'll show Caleb, hey, like, as long as you don't bring the defense out, however many times in a row, we'll be able to win these games.
Yeah. I mean, you just want to stay
It all operates together. I just think that my thing is, right, when the times, like, think about it at the end of the year, and we were like, maybe just like run one guy, like just run. I get we want everybody to feel good.
But I think
themselves.
they were limited though. It's only if you can't
don't
block
think so.
and you can't this,
because here's the
can't
thing,
catch.
they weren't limited when. Now I will say, you told everything you wanted to do when you sent Roshan out there. And that's where Saquon Barkley would be different. You don't know whether he's passing. You don't know whether he's running.
That's
you don't know whether
all
he's blocking,
That's
right?
all I want.
Because he can do all of those things.
Yes.
And I'm fine with that. But I think the part where it gets confusing is where we say, well, nobody's going to be able to go out there and run the way Saquon did. Well, if we're being honest, Saquon didn't run the way Saquon normally does this season.
Well, they used him like a dang. He's the ultra back over there.
He was
taking snaps in the backfield. Like he was.
He was.
He
was throwing passes.
Their
too.
quarterback isn't good.
He had to.
Oh yeah, he was. Listen, don't ever disrespect Tommy Cutlets out here, bro. Tommy Cutlets coming back for a big deal.
Hey,
Come on,
I'm not gonna lie. That's the only thing that threw me off, and it was like, yeah, the Giants trying to get a quarterback is like the worst kept secret in the league right now. I was like.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm not gonna lie. When you said the Giants, when Ken sent the Giants are trying to trade up for a quarterback, I was like big shock. That's like when you found out that the dinosaur was mixed with raptor at the end of Jurassic Park.
Like,
it's like, oh, really? Oh, my God. Talk about the worst kept secret in movie history. So, nah, I'm with you. Here's the one thing that I will say. Outside all of that, I think that the Bears have to address a couple of other positions before they even think about running back, in my opinion. And let's start it here with another Giant here. Might as well keep it a Giant-centric, you dig? Somebody that Bearlissimo has been screaming at us in the comments to go out there and talk about Xavier McKinney.
He's nice. 9
interceptions in his 5 years in the NFL right now. 4 years? 5 years? I believe 5 years in the NFL right now. 24 years old. And the Giants, 4 years in the NFL. And the Giants aren't bringing him back. What's happening there, Ringo? Y'all have nothing. You literally have nothing. What's going on with not bringing back Xavier McKinney?
Honestly, we at this point we just trying to.
I love that he's talking Giants football fully draped out in Bears gear. By the way,
that's so odd.
It's so weird.
We just trying to clean house, bro. I think basically this is pretty much. I mean, we trying to start fresh. I'm really actually surprised that we haven't taken calls on Dexter Lawrence. But I mean, I think this is pretty much what it's about. I think
got a first overall pick in a haul for
exactly. There's no haul coming.
Oh, there's a haul coming. You including Dexter.
But no, I think that he's a nice piece. Definitely with the 9 picks in the 4 years, definitely a capable piece. I would love to see what Eberflus is able to do with him. But I mean, also you're sitting there and you got. You got Jamal Adams out there, Jordan Poyer's out there. So I mean, it's up to Poe to see what he wants to do. But I'm not mad at Xavier McKinney. I think that he could definitely help the Bears right now.
Baby Blue said Ringo a Bears fan for real. Hey, listen. Hey, he say we a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. Ringo say we a lot. When he talk Bulls, when he talk Bears, whenever the Bulls,
you speak French now?
Whenever the Bulls is playing well, he say we a lot.
When
the Bulls be winning, he say we a lot.
Javon just.
Hey, look, now he mad about Javon Carter. We just lost 4 people. By the way, 400 in the chat. Over 400 in the chat.
400. Yeah.
What I like about Xavier, though, I mean, you're talking 116 tackles. That's really good. And then he's 24.
Yeah.
But again, that's something.
Biggest issue is coverage, right? Biggest issue for him is sticking with people.
Well, technically, that's what you need in a free safety. Sure. We already got a strong safety then.
But hey, Jamal Adams is out there.
Well, you don't get both of them. I think you get one of the two, right?
Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams. Think they trying to cook me, man.
Seattle cut Jamal because of a money. I think they
Jamal Adams is also not as healthy.
Hey, but Jordan Poyer.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, of the people,
Jordan Poyer and Jaquan Britt, bro.
Jordan Poyer, he gets hurt too much.
Jordan Poyer is on the same thing.
He will try to. Yeah, he's more of a strong.
He's gonna try to kill.
He'll run through a brick wall and then be fine with it, and then he's concussed. He's gonna have PTSD probably. I mean,
okay, Jesus.
What is with you and Kim? Takes, bro.
No, why can't he just have some head injuries, bro? He gotta have CTE, straight to CTE, bro.
He's on his way.
Jesus. No. He got this man. He's impressed by everything Ryan Clark is doing right now. He's like, I have no idea how Ryan Clark is still alive. Like that's Joe one of them. No, I mean, like I think Xavier McKinney would be a great get.
He has a podcast
right. He has a podcast. He talks on camera. Of the two people, to me, realistically, right, like to fill out that free safety position, I would say Xavier McKinney has risen to the top of my list, not because of talent, but because of age. Talent-wise, though, the age with talent. Like, there is talent there. He's a really good player. But 24 years old, that means you're still getting better. There's more that you can learn. So I would play the upside of that. Also, this picture got him looking like Fetty Wap. I thought he didn't have a left eye. I swear to God, I was like, can he see the other side of the field? Right. But the other name for me would be Quandre Diggs.
No, I like that.
I would rather have a Quandre Diggs than a Jamal Adams, because I know down year last year, not what we're used to seeing from him, but an absolute dog on the field, and a ball hawk, a guy that's still a ball hawk, 31 years old,
31, played every game,
still very healthy.
I mean, the problem though is you need you want the coverage though. If Brisker's the strong safety, they might look in the draft for this position. I don't know if they're going to sign a free agent like that.
I would go vet here. I'm not going to lie to you.
But see,
because here's the thing: there's nothing worse than looking back there and seeing a rookie that didn't get the assignment.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing. Hey, listen, as Bear said, we know how losing games like that goes.
No, you're 100% right.
Listen,
yeah.
Hey Joe, we know how losing game goes where you look back for your safety and he's just not there because he's playing the wrong spot.
What was that? Daniel Manning?
Daniel Manning, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Daniel Manning getting the credits. We're playing the credits for Daniel Manning.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah, they got lost. I lost the guy with the release and Reggie Wayne, or was the other one that got a touchdown?
It might have been Marvin Harrison.
No, I think it was Reggie Wayne.
Was it Reggie Wayne?
Was it Reggie Wayne?
Was it Reggie Wayne?
Yeah.
Either way,
it was Reggie Wayne.
It was bad. But no. Is this facts? We got 18 games next year. We just confirmed that. Did somebody just put that
No,
out?
I don't think they did. They?
I gotta see that.
Where's Baki at?
Baki, get on that. Baki,
confirm
get on
that.
Get on that.
I guess the news is that Mitch. Did we say Mitch went back to Buffalo?
Mitch went back to Buffalo. Yeah, we can say that. I don't think that people would joke about that one. Nobody wants to bring up Mitch if they don't. Right, exactly. Hey, somewhere kid is out there just like, so you're saying there's a chance? Like, no, there's no chance.
I keep telling y'all he good.
He's got game, brother. They not coaching him right.
We got one more.
Oh yeah, listen. I think here's the thing: the Chicago Bears. Last time this defense was dominant, and almost every time this defense was dominant, there was a bearded menace in the middle. Yeah, go get that guy. The dude that for some reason, tell me he don't look like Akeem Hicks a little bit.
Hey,
I would love to get it. Like I would say, if we're prioritizing our list, let's kind of do this as well, right? If we're prioritizing our list of guys that we want to see just on the free agent market, and we also have to talk about some of the guys that are also just now getting onto the free agent market as the Bills basically cleared the entire team. But when you look at how would you rank the need of the guys that are out there right now? And some of the guys we talk about, like to me, Christian Wilkins is the top of my list, not just because of the sack numbers, because I think the sack numbers can be a fluke, right? Like he had a great season this season, 9 sacks, all of that. But I think realistically, shout out Hayes getting up out of here. Hey, don't do it right now, but if you're a Bulls fan, amazing Chicago Bulls pregame show. Go watch that after this. I'm not gonna send them to you though, but.
Just don't go on that don't go on that talking crazy.
He may talk Bulls, he may not. Christian Wilkins would be my number one because without the sack numbers in this defense, he's still a guy that can dent the pocket. You're talking about putting two massive mammoths of men next to each other, and Andrew Billings and Christian Wilkins.
Oh, okay, I was double checking. Okay,
that's not a pause.
I was close.
I don't feel like that was a pause. I think we were talking about body type on that. Okay. Massive mammoths of men. I think we knew what we were talking about on that.
Anyway.
But
no, wait. The whole issue is how they, it made me think of what Greg Gabriel said, right? It's more about, like I said, like Tommy was 6'2", 80 or something like that, 300. Warren Sapp was like 6'2" If the 3 technique is like Tank Johnson offered next to Tommy.
Chop said, if you gotta ask. Is that how we judge pauses? If you gotta ask.
I think because Javon is like 6'5", isn't he?
Javon Dexter?
Dexter.
I think that's the other thing too. Yes, Javon is like 6'5".
So
let me get a height and weight on Javon Dexter.
I mean, if that fits, but then again, if they believe in Dexter, because this is the other thought I had early on. Like if they sign, let's say they sign him.
Javon Dexter, 6'6", 312 pounds.
That is a giant dude.
Would you say that is a massive mammoth of a man? I don't think that's a pause. I know.
No, you know what though? We're getting off topic. I think the whole point is, what is the biggest need for the Bears in general? What and if you rank the need, what do they need first? Do they need the defensive end first? Because that to me will really complete the defense. They still need safety.
You got to know what your belief in Javon is already, and I think that's the tough part right now. Where he's a 2nd round pick. You have to develop him. Yeah. Right. If you miss on Javon Dexter, that's an L on Brian Pohl's card, and we will look at it and go.
Pickens.
Right. Pickens is a 5th round pick though, so you kind of get a little bit more leeway with a guy like Zach Pickens. I think that he can play, and I think that he's somebody that can develop. But Javon Dexter is a player that has to develop. Second round picks, you can you get more leeway on them than like missing on the first overall pick.
Well, okay,
but those are still guys.
No,
that are
but the
supposed
point
to be
is,
starters.
the point is, the number it's center, definitely center. Shout out, I forgot. Shout out to C-Rod. Center is to me number one.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
So Joe,
if we don't get the center, defensive end, then safety, then receiver are the top positions we need in terms of filling this team out.
So your top three is center.
Yeah, Pickens was a third round. That's what I thought.
Was Pickens third round?
Yeah,
I thought Pickens was fifth.
Yeah, no. Pickens, they drafted another tackle in the fifth round. But Pickens
that's
was
right.
right
No,
after.
what's his name went fifth? Travis Bell was fifth, right?
Yeah.
Little meatball of a man.
Yeah.
Travis Bell was cool. Travis Bell, bro, when I tell you, bro, when you saw Travis Bell, bro, Travis Bell had to be 5'11", 315 pounds.
Jeez.
And could move, dog.
Wow.
I loved watching him play, bro. Like, I was at training camp watching him. And listen, the line play at training camp is mad. But I remember watching him and just being like, hey, this little dog, like, he on the he can move some people out his way.
Like a Wolverine or something.
Bro, he was he was a bulldog too. That's what it was. He was literally a bulldog.
Yeah.
He was low to the ground. Muscles was like, what the
low center of gravity. Yeah, I think but
no meatball is a flag. Come on, dog. I feel like these are flags.
They're going crazy. I think
I'm throwing a flag on the chat.
You throwing a challenge flag on the chat?
I'm throwing a challenge flag on the chat.
We challenging the chat on that one.
No, I
chat
think
votes. We're gonna lose.
we need the chat.
We
don't go anywhere, guys. We love you.
Don't flag the chat.
I think though, no, but you gotta go center. It looks like I think to your point, they can't give up on Dexter. You bring in Wilkins.
Yeah.
What does that say? Does that mean that you're
giving up on Dexter,
or you're moving Dexter over to play the nose tackle? And
yes,
so which I don't think that's actually bad. And then you still get your defensive end. If Dexter, I like that idea. And now Pickens is your depth.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that. You still got Justin Jones, and you still got Jones and the other guy they just resigned.
Are we holding on?
We're missing one.
Well, I guess Justin Jones still here. Yeah, you probably riding it out with Justin Jones.
What's the other guy? The other guy.
Andrew Billings. That's the other man.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, man, like here's the thing about the position. You got to know. You have to know Dexter is going to take a leap this year.
He has to.
Like, you have to know.
Well,
because here's the thing. There are guys available that currently, as we feel, are better. And you have the money to go get them. And they're linchpin pieces for your defense. You bring Christian Wilkins in here, put him next to Billings on a starting lineup. You know how much pressure you're getting up the middle on quarterbacks all season? And with Montez Sweat coming off of the edge, we could leave DeMarcus Walker over there and be like, he's probably going to get 7 to 10
But you can move, I think you move Dexter over and put Wilkins in that position for that 3 technique then. That is scary to me.
And
Dexter's never been an edge, though. Pickens is
no. I'm saying
Pickens
put him as the nose
out.
tackle, and Wilkins is the 3 technique. And
maybe I'd be okay with that. But I'm not gonna lie, I like Bill in the middle too. Well, Bill comes in then just on the run play.
But now you got rotation.
You bring him in as a run stopper.
Right. The whole thing is we don't have any depth. You about a rotation, that's still scary. That reminds me of like when we had Tommy Harris.
And there goes the show, boys.
But Mark Anderson, you know, when they brought in, they had a rotation of deep, like he was like a 5th round pick that came out of nowhere, but with Alex Brown, and I think they switched over to Gounier. Like, the whole issue is getting depth, and we can rotate and keep guys fresh. That the whole thing is this defense is the crown jewel of this team.
Right.
So if we're able to sustain and keep this defense healthy, and we can rotate guys in and out and not get them hurt, that's the key to me.
And I think honestly with it too, just to that point, I mean even just looking at Wilkins last year when Jalen Phillips was healthy for the Dolphins. And Bradley Chubb was healthy, because you got to remember they had a rash of injuries like down the stretch. When all of those guys were healthy and Wilkins was in the middle, like the Dolphins defense was eating. So like for them,
hey, he gonna throw Tommy Harris out there, bro. He says the third time he mentioned Tommy Harris. Hey, y'all have to understand this about Joe. Y'all have to understand this about Joe. Time stops for him in 2006. Oh. Like, that was the last year the Bears went to the Super Bowl. That's the last time Joel had a time skip. Hey, you can play the credits how you want, brother. But them the only team that he mentioned. Hey, we went to the playoffs in 2018. He don't bring them up.
No.
He'll never talk about that defense.
This was the first time he brought him up, 2018.
Bro, he'll never talk about that defense.
It's not that. That defense was
We had another good year, 2010. Nobody
No.
talks about that defense.
You watched the defense scoring. You watched the defense dominate.
You mean like 2018?
Not like that 06 defense was special, dude. Like you're talking about that Cardinals game. Like
so the 2018 defense,
the offense was so bad.
You know, the 2018 defense is like
it was a good defense.
It's literally like one of the best defenses in NFL history.
Good,
but
it's legitimately one of the best.
It got it. Didn't get out the first round.
And
because your offense couldn't put up more than 15
Our offense was actually probably worse.
I'm just saying.
My point is that defense, I'm just saying that defense was special.
Yeah.
And they scored. They got a lot of takeaways on top of the fact they even lost 2 guys on the defense. So my point was,
sound like the 2018 defense.
We're bringing. Oh Lord, jeez, help me. The whole point is that this team, we're building the same type of defense. Is my point. And it could be actually better than that. So that's what I'm excited about.
Joel don't pay attention to anything that wasn't a 4-3. If it wasn't a
400 in the chat, y'all.
4-2 nickel.
400 in the chat.
Yeah.
400.
At all. But no, yeah, I mean,
I just love it. Joel's like, I got my teams. These are my teams. These are the teams I talk. I can tell you everything about these teams.
Thanks, Lord
from
Crimson.
top to bottom.
no, yeah, but when Christian Wilkins was in the middle and Jalen Phillips was healthy with Bradley Chubb, and they also had a Ramsey and they had Howard on the other side of that. Like they ate. So he's obviously a game changer. In that way, and you pair him with a Montez Sweat, and say they do get somebody else on the defensive line or at that safety position, this has the makings to be one of the top defenses in the NFL next year that'll rival a San Fran or Baltimore or something in that matter.
So wait, real quick, like Black Belt Ben, he said I'm acting like I'm playing Madden with salary cap off. There's a reason Post drafted these young players need an opportunity. My point was I'm not trying to just buy a bunch of players. We're talking about getting impact players.
You talk about getting guys that are
and
going
my
to be
thing
the
is
best.
Dexter.
He just
to me he's the one that we need to take off. If you move him over to nose tackle, I think he can still succeed, if not thrive, because there's more pressure to play the 3 technique. And we're talking about winning now.
I think he also needs to start.
Possibly.
We were throwing Justin Jones out there on a weekly basis. Yeah, I mean, like, I think he also needs to start.
The whole point is this is just conversation because they might believe that Dexter is the starting 3 technique regardless.
Yeah.
We don't have any input on what Ryan Poles is doing here. Yeah. So all we're saying is that if
I kind of do. I mean,
you do.
Last time I made a hardcore opinion on something.
See what happened when you listen to me though. Shout out to King Poles.
Last time I went hard on a take, we got Chase Claypool a week later. I was beating my chest. I was like, here we go. Look at all these picks I got out here. I'm only down to 5 picks. That's okay, baby. I still got plenty of picks for you.
Hey, what if he just be looking at the show? Hey, when Pat made that take, he was like, okay, I'm feeling this. Hey, bro.
Hey, never watched the show again.
The minute he got ready for, hey, Kevin, never listen to this dude again.
Never watches the show again.
Who else we got? Is that it?
We had a whole nother topic that we had to get to, but we coming up on the closing time on this one, man. But hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. It broke over 400 in this mug. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page if you have not done so. We're here on a daily basis, also dropping a pod weekly as well. So tune in. What is blessings to you? Said Pat, you messed up our 2nd round pick. Boo this man. I feel you, dog. That's on me. But guess what? He got the next one right. That's all that matters. Keep getting the next one right. Hit that like button if you haven't done so. As always, for Stefan Adon and the super producer Joel Holt, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love. Peace.
One love. Peace. One love.
Anybody seen that movie yet?
Which movie?
No.
Oh.